Hey, Michael Church, Crawl Space Ninja, and today I have some special guests with me. We have Katie and Zach from San Antonio, Texas, and they are the winners of the Aprilaire 1820 dehumidifier. So we're going to talk to them and go through some things with them. And first of all, welcome, Zach and Katie. Glad to have you today.
Thank you. We're really blessed to be here and really excited to do this with you today.
Hi there.
Well, I got to be honest. I did not think Texas had a humidity problem. Of course, I'm kidding. But anyway, do you all have a crawl space or a basement or slab, or what kind of construction is your home to where give the viewers a little bit of background about what's going on out there in San Antonio?
So our home is on a slab. We don't have a basement, which really isn't really common in Texas. It's one of those kind of rare things. We have attics, so we have attic space that we've worked to convert to storage space. So
so our home is just a traditional stick build on slab. It's actually a townhouse with 3 floors plus the attic.
Yeah.
3, 4 floors and the attic. Wow. So you mentioned that you've been in triple digit temperatures here lately, but the humidity's been really high. So are you, I don't know if you've ever been to East Tennessee, but are you like 80, 90% humidity outside? What's typical for you all?
Typically in the mornings, it'll be around 80%, and it kind of wanes off if it's a warmer day. And it's not far from that inside the home so far.
Yeah, the humidity here is really high. We moved here from San Angelo, Texas about 5-6 years ago. And from that area of Texas to this area, it's completely different. And so the humidity, you go outside and you can just kind of feel it. It's like it kind of just sets on your chest at times. But, when you live here, you adjust to it. And then most of the time, you don't want to be outside while it's hot. You want to be inside. And so, I think a lot of us just stay inside most of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for the temperatures to go down. So.
Well, and I can only guess that AC unit is running nonstop as if it's that hot, right? So that's great. So you're and could be a health hazard, I would guess, if the temperatures are that high. You go outside and you're not used to that kind of humidity. It's got to be dangerous sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially for our area. I mean, it can be dangerous for people, especially older people who just don't do well with the heat. And so we have a lot of local programs here in San Antonio that will actually provide them with air conditioning units, portable fans, anything to help them, because we all have that issue. Anybody.
Yeah, the heat's a real problem.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Now, we just had a hurricane hit the Gulf a couple of weeks ago. Were you all, actually it was last week, I believe. Were you all affected by that at all?
We get the rain occasionally. We don't always get it. San Antonio weather is really weird. Like, it'll rain one day, and then the next day it's bright and sunny and temperatures are high.
But we do notice storm surges that come through the area. We're not more than maybe 100 or so miles from the coast in San Antonio. So we do kind of notice the weather as it comes in, but nothing direct.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, and I mentioned this off camera, but again, congratulations. I mean, this Aprilaire, Brian over at Aprilaire, what a blessing it was for him to offer to give this Aprilaire 1820, which they will be sending to you direct from the manufacturer. So you're going to get it sent direct from Aprilaire. I believe they're a little behind on production, but we're hopefully going to get that out to you in the next couple of weeks. So thank you, Brian at Aprilaire, and all of you there. And I know you want to thank them yourself, so please feel free to do that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate the folks over at Aprilaire, especially Brian Canfield. We've enjoyed the interviews you've had with him.
Well, good
stuff.
Well, he's been a blessing to us too. He is just a wealth of information. So really, hopefully we're going to have him back on a few more times. But tell us what you're going to use the dehu, where you're going to put it, that kind of thing, if you don't mind.
So our plan is to put it in our attic. We're in the process of, we've just had our attic air sealed. And so we had it spray foamed probably about 3 weeks ago now. And so our next step is that we're going to be installing a new AC air conditioner up in that area, and then we're going to be putting that with the AC that we put in. So we definitely got some big plans in the next couple of months. So this is really a great thing to add to it to really help our home and everything as we go forward.
Well, that's wonderful. And I'm just curious, how did you come across Crawl Space Ninja? What led you to our YouTube channel and all that sort of thing? Just to kind of share with us a little bit about that too, please.
So we really started trying to find ways to really fix our attic area to make it more airtight. We started trying to learn how, what's affecting our air in our home. We suffer from allergies. Our pets suffer as well, and so we tried to find ways just to make our home better. It's built in 1985, and so we were finding that there was a lot of areas that had a lot of air coming through, a lot of outside air, especially our attic space. And so we just started trying to learn what we could do to make our home better. And so we just kind of started searching for different videos. And
it's a very leaky home, and we're actually new homeowners. So maybe about 2 years ago, last August, I think.
Yeah.
And being a homeowner also comes with an education, I should say.
Yes.
So we've been struggling to keep up with learning new things about the house. And one of the first things we came across was trying to figure out how to make it tighter and improve the air quality so we can keep out the allergens and the humidity. And through YouTube, Crawl Space Ninja came up pretty soon in the searching, and we've been following you ever since. And we were looking into your videos, mainly about the attic, and then it led into a lot of air quality information, and it's been a great value. That's how we started with.
Well, thank you. And for those that don't know, that's really what Crawl Space Ninja is about indoor air quality. I mean, who wants to go up in attics and who wants to fix crawl spaces? I mean, you're never going to go up there, right? You're never going to go down in the crawl space. Now, you basement owners, you obviously go in your basement, but most people don't go hang out in attics and crawl spaces, but they have an effect on the house. And that's what a lot of people that don't have crawl spaces or maybe don't think about indoor air quality don't understand. The more dust that comes from the leaking attics and all that affects us. And you mentioned your pets, and that's something that we never talk about, is that, pets have allergies too. And then it seems funny to me that people are more willing to spend money to help their pets a lot of times than they are their own selves. So it's just amazing what motivates people. But did you say you already spray foamed the attic, or you're going to spray foam the attic?
We have spray foamed. We spray foamed it about 3 weeks ago. We did a closed cell over the entire attic space, and then as we work in the project, we're looking to put our air conditioning unit and move it up to that area. So it's better, works better in the home.
So we closed off the soffits and encapsulated it, which is pretty neat. And before that, we spent the latter part of August actually up there ourselves getting it ready for that. So we took the old insulation out. It was full of dander and outside things that had been nesting in it. So, we encapsulated our attic.
So you all had blown in insulation before.
Yeah, we had.
Was it fiberglass or rock wool, or what was it exactly? Do you know?
Loose kind.
Loose fiber fill. Okay. So did you vacuum it out?
Part of it we vacuumed. We initially started by we dressed up head to toe and just took in a trash bag and started, shoveling it in. And determined to get it out at that point.
It's causing so many problems.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience. I feel for the people that have to do it on a normal basis because that's a lot of work. But yeah, it was interesting. I mean, as a homeowner, sometimes you have to take on projects yourself. So
did you all spray foam it, or did you bring a contractor in to do that?
We brought a company in to do that. We had looked into the DIY kits for spray foam, but then we kind of felt like if we don't do it right, then the fumes that can come off of it and the problems that it could cause, we didn't want to take that chance.
Sure.
So we had someone come in and spray foam it for us, but we kind of did all the prep work before to get everything ready. Like Zach said, we closed up the soffits. We, took all the old insulation out and everything like that. So it was definitely a learning experience to really know what's up there. You want to know your home, go start working on it. You'll really find out things that you didn't know about it. So
now, are your heating and air ducts, you said, are up there as well? Is that correct? Because you're going to put your AC unit up there.
Mm-hmm. Our heating and our air ducts run up there. And even in doing that, we found out a lot of our ducts are really older. They need to be replaced because of just what we saw on the inside. So we were just like, this is going to have to be a replacement as well. I think if we hadn't gone that far, why go this far with getting our air better and doing all these other things? So that's just one other step that we'll go forward with in the next couple of months.
Well, that's very smart, because it doesn't matter how good that AC unit is if it can't get that conditioned air to where it is intended to go. Then all you're doing is heating and cooling your attic, and or your crawl space or wherever that is. So that's why we promote duct sealing and all those sort of things. And for the longest time, one of our most viewed videos was me with an iPhone, one hand duct sealing ductwork in an attic. And it's got like over 200,000 views now, but it could be as simple as that, is where you just take the insulation off, you find all the joints, and you just put some mastic or some duct butter around those. It's amazing how much of a difference that makes in getting that conditioned air to the living spaces. So, but it requires a professional if you're gonna remove and replace ductwork. It's not an easy thing to do. So it's good. Have you found somebody that's going to do that for you?
We're still in the process of working on. We're kind of taking things one step at a time, and so for us, it's just a process.
But we're looking.
Yeah, we found good contractors. We found bad contractors. We've kind of been through that in the first year that we lived here. So I think nowadays we do a lot more research and trying to understand things before we just, hire someone to do the job. So, yeah.
Well, and that's the beauty of YouTube and all that sort of thing, is it gives you all an opportunity to do that research on your own, so you can talk intelligently. The days of the contractor pulling the wool over your eyes is a little bit more difficult today than it used to be, right? So,
absolutely, we're a lot more informed.
Yeah.
A lot more informed now.
Okay, very good. Now, did you talk to homeowners in San Antonio, and do you see, if you did, do you see other homeowners are spray foaming their attics, or were you kind of like the rebel and went out and did that on your own without talking to others?
I kind of think we're a little bit on the rebel because not a lot of people are doing it. A lot of people I work with were like, "You're doing what? What are you doing to your attic?" And I've talked to some companies trying to find a company to spray foam here. They're all like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. Stay away from it. It's the worst thing you can do." So I mean, I think it's kind of good and bad for our area. Depends on who you talk to and if you're really informed about your house and the things that are out there. I think we're so used to the traditional methods of insulation that we don't think outside the box at times. So
that brings up a good point for those out there who are maybe on the fence about whether to do it or not. What made you all decide? What was the thing where, when you were doing your research on spray foaming the attic, what was it about it that made you decide to go for it?
I think I like the fact that basically you could encapsulate everything. It really kept everything out. You could keep out the dust. You could keep out, humidity that potentially anything that's going to try and get in your attic is not going to be able to come out because every nook and cranny is basically filled. So it basically just provides a really good barrier for the attic space.
So now the attic is almost part of your living space, because it's now its own thing. So there will be some conditioning involved in the attic, which is what the dehumidifier is going to do at this point, right? So are you going to have a return and a supply up there from your HVAC? Have you thought that through or anything? Because that might be something recommended by the heating and air company.
Yeah, we thought we might partially duct the attic in to help with the stack effect, I think, and just to keep the space under control.
That's very good. Very good. Well, again, I am so glad you all joined us today, and just we're hoping Brian and Aprilaire will give us something else to give away, and then I don't know if it'll be a dehumidifier or what, but we're gonna hopefully use this video to nudge them into another giveaway. So we really appreciate you all taking time to talk to me and everything, and just hope everybody out there makes it a happy and blessed day. And y'all say goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.